I didn't know how to handle it. You know, it's a weird position to be in, and I didn't. And I know Wilmer, by the way, and actually Mandy was still really good friends with him, and he could not have been a nicer guy.
They had dated at some point.
They had dated, and he could not have been. And by the way, and to this day, I've seen him, and it's all water under the bridge. He could not have been a nicer dude. So when it happened, we were both sort of drop-jawed, like, what the fuck?
So what was it untrue about it? That in other words,
I think it's been many years, Howard, but as I recall, he bragged about taking her virginity on your show, and as I recall, that was not the truth.
In other words, you took her virginity.
No.
In other words, she said, listen, yes, I was a lover of Vilmer's, but he was not my first.
Yeah, I believe, it's been a while, Howard, but as I recall, the one fact I do remember is that he was not, he didn't take her virginity.
But you stand up to people because you confronted him about it.
Well, I was in love with her, and I wanted to defend her honor, and I thought that was fucked up, and so I had it. By the way, I knew him, so I mean, that was really a particularly weird situation. Where, I mean, and the guy had never been anything but kind and sweet to me, so I called him. I was like, Wilmer, what the fuck?
Right.
And he said, oh, man, you got to hear the transcript. It's out of context. I was like, transcript? I listened to it.
I don't need a transcript.
His spiel was that it was out of context. Reading the transcript, it was out of context, and I needed to. So then, just to make sure I wasn't an idiot, I went back and heard the replay. And it was pretty clear that he had said that, and so, you know.
Yeah,
it was
so
awkward.
What do you say to him on the phone? You say, listen, Wilmer.
I think I said at the time, at the very least, I think you should make it right. I mean, at least call her and apologize, or if you feel so inclined, call into Howard and make it clear.
Issue a retraction.
Something. I just thought it was, you know, I'm not a big...
I like that you picked up the phone and called him, though. I mean...
Well, I wanted to... I didn't know what else to do. I was like, this is so bizarre. I gotta call the dude and clear it up.
Now, as long as we're talking about women...
Yeah.
All right. The woman that badmouthed you was this Maggie Grace. Have you heard this story?
Maggie Grace, no. Go ahead.
She was reportedly ready to guest star on Scrubs. Maybe this is all bullshit.
Yeah, but a lot of it's bullshit, but I'll clarify.
She went out to dinner with you, and she said because you were in your womanizing phase, and she saw firsthand your womanizing, she ripped up her contract and said she would never work on the show Scrubs. Any truth to that?
No. I mean, I think I did probably hit on Maggie Grace at some point.
What's wrong with that?
She's a babe.
Right.
And
I don't even know who she is, honestly.
She was on Lost, and she's the girl that keeps getting kidnapped in the Liam Neeson movies.
Oh, okay.
She keeps getting taken.
Should I see
She's the one that keeps getting taken.
Should I see Taken 2, Zach, or is that not good?
I don't know. I didn't see Taken 2. I was like, well, she got taken again? Why am I going to...
How can that happen?
This guy's the worst parent.
So
I think the truth in that is the only encounter I've ever had with Maggie Grace was probably out and about, and I was single, and she was single, and I was probably flirting and hitting on her like any single person might.
Sure.
But the truth, the idea that she was going to do Scrubs is false. The idea that she had a contract to rip up is false.
Wow. Because I see you, now, unless you're on good behavior around me, I see you as a very honorable guy and a good guy.
Well, I've grown up a lot, Howard. I mean, like I started to say, when I got this, when the success and fame hit me, it happened like a whirlwind overnight. And then I had the TV show, and then the movie, and it was...
You were on fire.
I have to say, in my own defense, this many years later, I was a little, all of a sudden, I was caught up in the whole thing, and all of a sudden there were girls around, and I was a kid in a candy store. I couldn't fucking believe it. And I was talking to these girls, and that these girls were interested in me. And was I always, were there times when I drank too much and was hitting on girls too much? Of course, I'm sure. Like most people would, I got caught up in it a little bit.
I have a list of who you banged here.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, here you go.
A lot of them, when I read, I was like, I wish.
Your co-star in Scrubs, Sarah Chalky. I don't know who that is.
Sarah Chalk, not Chalky.
Chalky.
Yeah.
I like the name Sarah Chalky better. All right, that sounds good to me. Who's Bonnie Somerville?
Oh, God.
I don't even know who that is.
She's an actress, a good actress.
Look at you going through Hollywood. Who the hell knew?
This was years ago.
Mandy Moore, we talked about. Shiri Appleby.
Yeah, Shiri Appleby is actually a funny story about Shiri. She's a wonderful actress. But do you watch Girls at all?
Yes.
So do you remember when that episode where they showed the guy shoots his load all over this beautiful girl's breasts.
Yes.
That's Shiri.
Oh.
And so I think it was a rare experience. Most people will never see semen, albeit fake, on their ex-girlfriend's tits.
Right.
I'm sitting there with Taylor, my girlfriend now, and we're watching the show because I love the show, and all of a sudden there's Shiri with this giant load on her boobs.
I dated her. Hey, that looks familiar.
Yeah, and she looked great. And I was kind of like, wow, those were good times.
How long have you been with Taylor, your beautiful girlfriend? Now?
4 years, Howard.
Now she has tamed you, I suppose.
Yeah,
Are you being faithful?
Yeah, totally. She's totally tamed me.
Now, she's some knockout. She seems like the greatest person.
She's too good to be true.
Would you ever consider marriage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid of it because I feel like it fucks everything up, and my parents had a messy-ass divorce, and...
How's she feel about your lack of interest in marriage?
No, it's not a lack of interest. It's definitely... we joke about me procrastinating and feeling like... I feel like, oh, things are so good, I don't want to fuck it up.
Could you imagine in high school a girl who looked like that, and you're procrastinating about whether you want to marry? I mean, look at her. Look at that picture, you dudes. Yeah. Freddie, look at that. That's her.
Yeah.
Look what's going on.
Unbelievable, right? I can't believe it myself.
Yeah, I can't
When I see pictures like that, I'm like, wow, it looks like I'm with a cardboard cutout. It looks like I'm at the wax museum.
And the dress she's wearing, I mean, the titties, everything.
Yeah, she's very comfortable with her body.
Yeah, I just saw, we were doing research on you, and there's the first time I saw a naked picture of Taylor.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there.
Well, she doesn't do like, you know, she's high. She does fashion modeling, and sometimes, you know, in some weird Parisian magazines.
You're naked.
You're naked.
And I was trying to figure out if her boobs were real or not. They look very real to me.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They're not giant enough to be fake.
Yeah, but they're perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Why? And I was like, anything that perfect has to be fake.
No.
That doesn't exist in nature.
Well, if they're like D's and they're like that, you're like, come on.
But those look like C's to me.
They're like, there's a solid C.
Nice. Good Lord. Wow. Yeah. Did Wilmer Valderrama take her virginity? I've heard of
Maybe that's what he meant.
I mean, Wilmer Valderrama took all of the girls I've dated's virginity. Yes.
Unbelievable.
I only date them after Wilmer's banged them. Yeah.
When you're with a girl like that who's got the perfect body, I mean, and thin and the whole thing, I mean, is there pressure on you to stay thin and in shape?
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't want her to be, you know, she's around all, you know, she does modeling gigs with these model dudes. And
will you be naked in a room with her and keep the lights on?
Oh, yeah, I'm in decent shape.
Yeah, good for you. I don't let that see me in the light.
You're in good shape. I've seen you.
Oh, no, man, I got some bayach. You would not believe what's doing my belly.
Actually, our situation's similar with you and Beth because we're you know, we happen to find hot girls who are into the funny.
Well, I'm a really hot guy, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
All right, explain to me what's going on here with the movie. And by the way, if you, let me get to this Kickstarter.
We have so much to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, Zach. I'll be the judge of that. Zach, you've decided to make Garden State 2, so to speak.
Well, no, it's not a sequel in any way. It's just my second movie.
Okay. Now, why have you not made them? Like, after you have a huge success like Garden State, where, like you said, $2.5 million to make it, the thing grossed about $30-40 million at the box office, am I correct?
Yeah.
And then made a whole bunch of money in DVD.
Yeah, I assume. Most of that's not mine, but yeah, that's what I read, yeah.
Do you end up making any money from the first Garden State?
A little bit, but, you know, most of it, you know, most people don't know this. When you see the number, I think it's important for people to know this. It's an important tidbit. When you see the box office number, 1/2 of that goes away to the theaters. So I think people, when they read the box, you know, now the box office thing is everywhere and everyone reads it. So whatever number you see, cut that in half because that money goes to the people that are showing at the theaters. Right. So then by the time you get a half and the financiers get a half and agents and lawyers and everyone, you know, it gets down to very little.
So why would a guy put up, forget you, I understand why you did the film because you wanted to make a reputation, you had a story you wanted to tell, I get that creatively. Yeah. Why would a guy put up $2.5 million?
Well, he instantly doubled his money.
He did.
At Sundance, he sold the movie for he put in 2.5, and he instantly at Sundance had a huge sale with 2 different companies, Harvey Weinstein and Fox Searchlight, and sold it for $5 million overnight.
Well, that's an amazing thing to happen with your first film.
Yes, huge.
Why didn't you immediately get grabbed up to make A ton of film.
I did, but Howard, I was on a TV show I was under contract for 7 and what became a full 9 years.
I see.
So I had to try and figure these movies out in a hiatus.
Right.
And it's hard enough to make a movie, period. But then once you're trying to line up stars and you're trying to line up locations and money and put the crazy piece together, I would put it together and we'd be ready to go, and then something would happen like they always do in Hollywood, and they go, oh, we need to push. Well, I couldn't push because I had to go back to the show.
Right.
So every hiatus after Garden State, I would try and do this juggling act again.
So you were getting offers, I imagine, to make other films?
I had them set up. I had things at studios. I had giant movie stars attached to things. And
you couldn't get it done? They
would fall apart. This person, I had, some giant star, and then their wife would say, oh, no, it's her, I don't want him to work this summer, and the whole thing would fall apart.
Oh, my God. Is that killing you inside?
Oh, my God. It's been killing me forever. I would get to the point where I was down, like, making I was on a location scout, like, wow, we're really making this movie. And then I'd get an email, she just left the movie, your star, to go be in a bigger director's movie.
What was that movie? Was that a movie that you wrote or somebody else?
That was a big studio movie that I rewrote called Swingles. And for a while it had some of the biggest stars in the world attached to it.
Who was attached to it?
At the beginning it was Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
And I met with her and I rewrote the whole thing. Because when I first got it, it was I was getting hired to do... One thing I could do was do these rewrite jobs. Because they liked the Garden State script, so I was getting hired to do rewrite jobs.
Right.
So I rewrote the movie. They loved what I did with it. They said, you want to direct it. Cameron Diaz is starring, and it was a huge thing. And then this guy at the studio who was in charge of it, the head of the studio, gets fired.
Oh, wow.
And the new guy doesn't want to make the movie, and so it falls apart. And then
a business.
We kept trying to make it. Then I had Scarlett Johansson attached to be in it, and then she left to be in another movie, and it's a
frustrating business. And
it's very hard because the movie, nothing gets made without a star at all. Right. And if you lose, and so your star is your gold, and if you lose that, you're instantly apart.
Yeah, because I could imagine. I think in terms of a career, you did the smart thing though. You stayed with Scrubs.
Yeah.
Because movies, they come and go, and you don't know what's going to be. It's a huge crapshoot. You had money in the bank.
And no one gets paid on movies unless you're one of the 20 people who are. I say this to actors now. I run into theater actors. I do theater as well, and the people are like, "Should I do TV?" I'm kind of nervous. I'm like,
"You're nervous?"
No, like they don't want to sign the 7-year contract. You sign a 7-year contract.
So you'd be lucky to sign a 7-year.
Yeah, you go 7 years, you're set. And so I always am like, unless you're one of these 20, 30 people who are true movie stars, you're not going to make a living unless you go to TV.
You're absolutely right. After Scrubs, did you try another TV series?
No, I didn't. I wanted to go do theater. I wanted to really make more movies. I had spent 9 years, since Scrubs, I don't know what it was, 7 years trying to make a movie and it not working.
Right.
That I just came out so hungry to make another movie that I was dying to do it.
All right. So now you've decided.
Right.
I guess Kristen Bell was the first sort of big name to raise big money on, what is that?
Well, let me give you a little bit of backstory.
All right.
The website's called Kickstarter.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, Kickstarter.com.
How do I not know about Kickstarter? I've just recently learned about Kickstarter. I've never been on there.
Well, it's become a huge conversation now because of first Kristen Bell, who I know you're friends with, and now me. Kickstarter is a site where you can pitch an idea, a creative idea, to the world. You usually make a video, and you have your own web page, and you say, here's what I want to do. It could be a movie, it could be a book,